my father was a multi-sport athlete, and was more of a runner and kind of triathlete person, not super into road. But when I was interested in mountain biking, he kind of grabbed onto that, and it was sort of a father and son thing through my high school career. So I rode the World Championships in 1990 in Durango. It was kind of like, at that point, it was like show up and ride. If you have a mountain bike, you can show up. But it was pretty cool. I think I ended up getting like top 15
Wow.
Nice. In the juniors there. Showed a proficiency right away for like climbing and that sort of stuff. And so that really kind of instrumented my career, I think, from there forward, in terms of being into bike racing and seeing myself as a cyclist and seeing myself as someone who, potentially could achieve on the world stage. And yeah, so that was kind of my start. Yeah, I mean, I remember I almost start every single one of them like a short track start, right? Just like from the gun, just like, like eventually, like Bosikote's like, he was like, like the race doesn't start until 40 minutes. Right. Why don't you just be patient? I'm like, I had no patience back then. I was terribly, I was a bad student in a lot of ways. So the progression year to year is so slow to get to the top. That like, if you're riding in 12th in the pros, it's going to take you 5 years to win. Mm-hmm. And so, I kind of looked at that and I was like, oh, well, maybe road is more fair. Maybe I'll switch to road. So in 98 was really like the year that I decided that I was going to just go full on for the road. Mm-hmm. And I was like, at least there's an aptitude of chance, right? At least if I can get on Bart's wheel, right? If I can see that coming, then I can, maybe self-select for a little better finish than I could if I wasn't. So yeah, in 98, I kind of really made the decision that I was going to go full in for road. So I called Gaimon up. I said, hey, Phil, what's going on? I said, David says you're tearing people's legs off. You gotta be like a 1-2 to be on the team. And I said, but here's the deal. David has faith in you. There's this race in April called Joe Martin. We're going to go there. You need to be a 3 to go there. If you can get your 3 upgrade by the time you go to Joe Martin, just like Gila, I said, you can get your 2 upgrade in the weekend if you ride well. So if you get your 3 upgrade, I will take you to Joe Martin. If you can get your 2 upgrade, I'll give you a bike. And oh my gosh, like we went to Joe Martin and he rode, just ripped everybody's legs off. And he crossed wheels with someone, fell down, got up, like didn't even straighten his bars, got on his bike, rode to the group he was with, because in the threes there was maybe a group of like 4 or 5, 6 people, something like that. He rode back and caught the group full on like Andrea Toffee style and just rode by him without even looking, and just rode all the way to the finish line with his handlebars like, turned like this, and won the stage. And I was like, what have I created? The technical part of cycling is something that's always attracted me to the sport. Yeah. Like in 2004, I had a 1x10 mountain bike setup. I won cross nationals the second year on one of Hawk Morgan's BCD frames.
Oh, nice.
Hand laid up carbon with a 1x, I think it was a 1x9 at that point set up. Yeah. But I mean, the whole bike was like 15.2 pounds.
Wow.
In 2000, that was a big deal.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
If you're a small person, like one of the biggest upgrades I think you can do is go to an electronic system where you basically remove half the cables from your bike, and so your bike actually steers again. And that's not something that's like so evident that you say like, oh, that's why I should do an electronic grupo is so my bike steers. That there's like, doesn't seem like there's any correlation there, but actually it's like amazing when you get on a bike that doesn't have that handlebar tension on the bike and how much better it handles. Yeah. And stuff like if you have less power in your hands, or your hands are smaller. I mean, obviously you can't run for president, but also it makes it hard to like shift, right? Like to swing that whole lever all the way is a much longer throw than if you were like 6'2". And so like being able to just like push a button is amazing. So, you know, like I've been riding electronic on my cross bike since like 2011. And, you know, again, like someplace where you think like, oh, like, why would you want electronic shifting on a cross bike? Well, it is absolutely amazing to be able to like program your shifter to go from like the 12 to the 28 and just hold it. Right. So like I could be like braking super hard into a corner, shifting into my 28 and never, you know, like miss a pedal stroke. Getting the feedback from the trainer is like huge. Again, one of those things where like the investment in technology is so worth it. Right. You know, like to be able to have, like, I could never ride a trainer for more than a couple hours historically. For me, like riding the trainer has always been a terrible experience because like you just are riding with constant, like, you know, everything feels the same. And for like the kicker to be able to like, remove the resistance from the flywheel when you're going down a little hill and like increase the flywheel to make it feel more like that outside road experience is just like a game changer, right? At that point, it's like, how long can you sit in wet clothes? And so